Maya Chen, 23, hiking trail guide, had exactly $67 in her account. Her father's surgery, $12,000, was scheduled in 9 days, and insurance denied the claim. When a man in designer hiking boots collapsed at the base of Whispering Peak, gasping for air, Maya dropped everything. She gave him her only EpiPen, $180, her emergency medication for bee stings. What Maya didn't know, that man was testing her. 5 days later, her entire world exploded. Maya's bank account, $67. Her father's heart valve replacement, $12,000 in 9 days. The medical loan application, denied, rejected, insufficient credit. Her father, Robert, 58 years old, had collapsed 3 weeks ago while fixing the cabin roof. The doctors gave him 2 months without surgery. Maya worked 12-hour days leading tourists up Whispering Peak for $8 an hour plus tips. She slept in a shared room with 2 other guides, ate ramen, showered every other day to save money. Before her mother's death, 2 years ago, car accident, no life insurance, Maya had dreams, environmental science degree, a career. But she dropped out of college to care for her father and pay off $34,000 in funeral costs. Her savings account went from $6,200 to zero in 8 months. Saturday, 7:23 a.m. Base of Whispering Peak Trail, fog rolling through pine trees. Maya was prepping her gear when she saw him. A man, maybe 60, expensive North Face jacket, collapsed against a boulder. Face purple, throat swelling, anaphylactic shock. What Maya did next would cost her everything. Maya stared at the EpiPen in her backpack. $180, her emergency medication. The trail was covered in bees this season. If she used it on this stranger, she'd be vulnerable for weeks. But he'd die in 5 minutes. Her hands didn't hesitate. She knelt beside him. "Hold still," she said, injecting the epinephrine into his thigh. His breathing steadied. Color returned. His eyes opened. "You saved me," he whispered. He stumbled to his black Range Rover and drove away. No thank you, no money, nothing. Maya sat on the cold ground. She'd just given away her safety net for a stranger who didn't even look back. That decision would destroy her life in ways she never imagined. Tuesday morning, day 4 after the mountain. Maya was leading a tour group when she stepped on a wasp nest. 3 stings, her throat tightened. No EpiPen. She radioed down. Emergency helicopter, $8,400. Her supervisor, Tom, pulled her aside. "You can't work without an EpiPen. Insurance liability. You're suspended until you get one." But Tom slipped her $40. "For groceries," he muttered. "Get back soon." Day 5. Her father's surgery moved up. Emergency. His heart was failing faster than expected. 48 hours. $12,000 due before the operation. Maya called every charity, every foundation, every friend. Denied, denied, denied. She sold her car for $900, her laptop for $200, her mother's jewelry for $380, still $10,520 short. But she remembered the man's eyes when he woke up, the life she'd saved. That had to count for something. Day 6. Maya's phone buzzed. Unknown number. She answered. "Miss Chen?" A woman's voice, professional, sharp. "I'm calling from Aldridge Ventures. We need to meet with you. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. It's extremely urgent. Don't be late." What Maya was about to discover would change everything she thought she knew. If this story is giving you chills, please subscribe to Everyday Kindness Stories and hit the bell icon. We share these real stories to prove good people still exist in this world. What Maya discovers next will absolutely shock you. The man from the mountain wasn't who she thought he was. The office was in the tallest building downtown, 38th floor, glass walls, city sprawling below. Maya walked in wearing her only clean jeans and a borrowed blazer, and there he was, the man from the mountain. But he wasn't gasping for air anymore. He stood in a charcoal Tom Ford suit, silver watch, perfectly styled gray hair. He turned, extended his hand. "Miss Chen, thank you for coming. I'm Richard Aldridge. I'm the founder of Aldridge Ventures. worth $1.8 billion, real estate, tech startups, medical research. For the past 3 years, I've been conducting tests. 412 people. I fake medical emergencies in remote locations, mountains, trails, beaches. I watch who stops, who helps, who walks past. You were the first person in 3 years who gave up their only life-saving medication to save a stranger. My son died 7 years ago. Allergic reaction. Hiking trip. No one stopped to help. I've been searching for someone who understands what it means to choose a stranger's life over your own safety. What Mr. Aldridge offered next would seem impossible. I'm offering you a position, Richard said, sliding a folder across the mahogany desk. Director of Community Impact at Aldridge Foundation. Your job, identify people drowning in medical debt. Help them. Save them. Salary, $95,000 per year. Health insurance, full benefits. Maya's vision blurred. She couldn't breathe. Your father's surgery, all $12,000 paid. Today. I've already called the hospital. He's scheduled for tomorrow at 6 a.m. And this. He handed her an envelope. She opened it. A check, $25,000. For the car you sold. The jewelry, the months you suffered, the EpiPen you gave me. Maya collapsed into the chair. Tears poured down her face. Her hands shook. Why me? She whispered. Richard's eyes softened. Because you gave away your only protection to save someone you'd never met. That's not kindness, Maya. That's courage. That's what the world needs. But the story doesn't end there. 2 years later, Maya Chen, 25, Director of Community Impact at Aldridge Foundation. She'd helped 2,847 families pay off medical debt. $67 million distributed. Lives saved. Futures restored. Her father, Robert, healthy, strong, alive. He'd returned to carpentry, building homes for low-income families through the foundation's housing program. Maya kept the empty EpiPen from that morning at Whispering Peak. Richard had it mounted in a glass case in the foundation's lobby. A bronze plaque beneath it read, "The medication that saved 2 lives. One stranger, one future, one choice that proved humanity still exists." Maya touched the glass every morning before work, a reminder. She'd lost everything that day, her safety, her medication, her certainty, but she'd gained something bigger, purpose, proof that giving, even when it costs you everything, creates ripples you can't imagine. Richard was right. Maya hadn't just saved his life on that mountain, she'd saved her own. And now she was saving thousands more. One act of courage can change everything. You might lose something precious in the moment, but somewhere in the universe, it comes back tenfold. Good people exist. They're hiking trails, working jobs, struggling to survive. And they still choose kindness. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to Everyday Kindness Stories. Hit the bell. Next time, we'll share the story of a janitor who gave his last $10 to a stranger. And what happened next will leave you speechless. Thank you for watching. See you soon.